At JR the Boss Man, the NBA is a virtual lock to expand to Las Vegas and Seattle. What markets are in the conversation as it pertains to potential NFL expansion? Well, I'll say this, JR the Boss Man. The conversation about potential NFL expansion hasn't happened yet. I think the NFL is looking at this in a linear fashion. First, they got to 17 games. Next, they'll get to 18 games. They won't be able to increase the inventory of total games beyond 18. So the only way to increase the inventory of total games after you get to an 18-game season is to expand the number of teams. More teams, more games. I would suspect that cities that have successfully hosted NFL teams in the past would be in the mix. Now, the lawsuit filed by St. Louis against the NFL, set to go to trial, by the way, right about the time the Super Bowl happens in L.A. where the Rams moved. I think St. Louis at some point would potentially be in play, and maybe a settlement would include some sort of favored nation status for St. Louis in the event that there's expansion in the future. That's part of the deal that averted litigation when the Browns left Cleveland back in 1995. I'd say San Diego, to the extent that someone's going to build a stadium there without taxpayer dollars. I would say, and this whole Chicago, Arlington Heights Stadium thing has gone from not even a whisper to a roar in just a few weeks. The Bears are going to build their own stadium, state-of-the-art, maximum revenue streams, number 3 market in the nation. The number 1 market has 2 teams. The number 2 market has 2 teams. I think Chicago would be a potential site, either for relocation or expansion. And also London. Al Michaels said 10 years ago, when the league goes back to Los Angeles, it will be 2 teams, not 1. I think there's room for 2 teams in London, and I think if the NFL ever does go to London, it will be 2 teams, whether it's expansion or whether it's an expansion team and a current team, maybe a current team that plays in London every single year. I know, folks in Jacksonville, you're not happy to hear that, but I'm not the one who's decided that the Jaguars are going to play a home game in London every year.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.